So we are counting down to the semi-final clash between India and New Zealand. I have with me my colleague Sahil Bakshi to talk about what kind of pressure the Indians would be under. Sahil, I have been awake since 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if I'm more stressed than Rohit Sharma. Tell us about your stress levels.
Well, of course. I mean, it's a big match. New Zealand, we know how they performed against India in when it comes to ICC knockouts. They've never beaten New Zealand before, so I think it is going to be a big match. And my nerves are as excited as I think you or even Rohit Sharma's is.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of talk about New Zealand being underdogs. Do you consider New Zealand as underdogs? Because I think they're playing on our mind by calling themselves underdogs and reveling in that tag.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree with you more. New Zealand, when it comes to ICC events, I think they are among the best sides in the world. Of course, they have not won that ODI World Cup or a white ball, ICC event, World T20 World Cup yet. But when it comes to ICC events, they have the tendency to go all the way. Yes, they fail at the final hurdle. We hope that they fall at the semi-final hurdle this time, and India goes on to not just qualify for the World Cup and even win it. But yeah,
Tell me chances. What do you think?
I think
50-50?
it's India's form, 9 wins out of 9. I think India have an advantage. For me, it would be 70-30, I would say.
70 for India and 30
For India, yeah.
for New Zealand. Okay. Well, when we look at this Indian team, it's been formidable throughout the tournament. You mentioned 9 win out of 9 win. Any chinks in the armor that the Kiwis will be looking at?
I think, see,
Or absolutely flawless?
India have been near flawless, I would say, but New Zealand have those those left arm pacers like Trent Bolt, and then there is Mitchell Santner, left arm
And
spin.
this is Bolt's home
This is
ground
Bolt's home
in a
ground, of
in a
course.
way.
So yeah,
Oh God, it's Rohit Sharma. Who else? Rohit Sharma, Suryakumar Yadav, Shreyash Iyer,
yes,
and
Bumrah,
Trent
of
Bolt.
course.
Bumrah, of course. How can we forget Jasprit Bumrah?
Yeah.
All of their home ground today.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of players who know how exactly to play on this surface. So I think it's going to be an exciting match. A lot of players know the conditions well, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Okay, I'll pick on the word conditions because there's a lot of talk around that first power play in the second innings as to how the wind from the sea will play out
Right.
at the Wankhede Stadium, and how most of the teams, Sri Lanka, Australia, everyone have suffered. England have suffered heavily in that
Of course.
power play. How important then that does the toss become tonight?
Quite. The toss holds quite an importance, I would say. Win factor, as you said, it plays a big role. The team batting second, they would have to be a little more wary of how they deal with the Pacers. And I think if India win the toss, I think they probably would be looking to bat first.
Would you say, Sahil, it'll all be about pace bowling of one side versus pace bowling of another side?
See,
Mostly.
spin bowlers, again, I don't think we should be discounting them completely. Yes, pacers, I think, would have slight advantage.
This is also an used wicket. This is not like a
Yes, I read
fresh
about
wicket.
that.
Yeah,
This
it's a used wicket.
this would be a slow wicket, so I think spinners would come into
And
play.
this is the kind of wicket India has loved playing on during the World Cup.
Absolutely,
During this World Cup.
absolutely. So I think New Zealand would not be absolutely happy. Maybe if it was a fresh wicket, New Zealand would have fancied their chances a little more. But yeah, India, I think, would see these conditions favoring them a little bit more than as compared to New Zealand.
Also, when we talk about man to man in comparison, India compared to New Zealand, perhaps India has a better arsenal of bowlers and batters. But there's something about the Kiwis and the knockouts, ICC events. What is it? I mean, is it their confidence? Is it their innate ability in conquering these situations as a mind game? They keep playing with the opposition. What is it? I mean, man to man, it looks like India is far superior.
Of course, absolutely. See, I think New Zealand, they just don't take that pressure of winning an ICC event. It's probably when it comes to ICC events, they step up their level a little bit as compared to other teams. Most of the other teams, you would see, they would crumble under pressure. The pressure of getting that trophy in their hands, it would play on their minds. For New Zealand, it sort of takes them to another level. And you don't see pressure on their faces that like you do on some of the other teams. So I think that's what makes them tick when it comes to these big occasions.
And tell us a little bit about India. We know that India has not been good in the knockouts,
Right.
but Rohit Sharma constantly has spoken about how the things that the team has done to overcome pressure, how they have gone trekking together, how they have, and we've been seeing happy pictures of the Indian dressing room. But are those happy pictures just for the sake of showing us, or are they really not feeling the stress this time around?
Well, I think the fielding coaches initiatives, all those fielder of the match medals and all, those videos have shown us how united this Indian team is, how family like atmosphere there is in this Indian team. And I think that's what sums up what this team exactly is. How they have the other some of the other Indian teams, you would have seen a little pressure on their faces in their performances. But this
This is a
team,
different generation
absolutely,
of players, and perhaps they also realize that this is the final or the penultimate opportunity, if they are to
yes,
reach the finals, penultimate opportunity for this golden generation
yes,
to be playing a World Cup together.
right.
Because I do not see Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, and many others, Ravindra Jadeja, playing the next ODI World Cup. So this is perhaps the penultimate
I
opportunity.
agree.
Also, one other thing before we quickly go, I have to discuss today. 10 years back, Sachin Tendulkar walked out at
Made
the
his debut.
Wankhede
Yeah.
to play his last game. I was there covering, so I'm just thinking how old I am. And in 1989, he made his debut on this day. It
Yes.
must be really special for the Indian team, and they want to probably give happy tears to the Indian
Right.
fans, like the way they had
I, I,
back
yeah.
10 years ago.
I think that was a historic occasion. I think today should be a historic occasion, and I hope Indian team goes on to qualify for the final and make the great Sachin Tendulkar proud.
Absolutely. And we will keep talking about that match, India versus New Zealand. What are the ways India can overcome New Zealand and be third time lucky, having not won against them in 2019 and 2021? Sahil, thank you for
Thank you
joining
so
us.
much, Rekha.